did Tim really hears the sound? Because on line 41, it says each time he thought he heard the mouse crawling between the walls, then he hit it, but like it don't say like he knew, like he heard the sound, but he thought that he heard it.
Okay. So you're using each time he thought he heard the mouse, you interpret that to mean that
Like he don't really know, but like every little sound he was hitting the wall.
okay, so every little sound he hears, he might just hit the wall. He's not for sure. Right?
And I think that that Tom is scared of the dark too.
That Tom is scared of the dark. Okay, so these are some interesting points that are being brought up. And this is tough. And this is really tough. We'll get better at this for those of you observing and those of you inside the circle. It might seem as though it's a lot of things at once and a lot of different questions and comments. But if you try to take notes and just really pay attention, it will start to come together somewhere. All right? So Tom was scared of the dark. Why?
I think just because he was just making stuff up. Yeah, he was just basically making stuff up to like, I guess compensate for his scariness or something. Him being scared of the dark and hearing noises. It probably he wasn't actually hearing nothing. He probably was hearing the radiator or wind blowing or, you know what I'm saying? Stuff like
Okay.
that.
So if we're following your logic, you're saying Tom is making up things to compensate for his, in your words, his scariness.
Yeah, scared.
All right. So, in one hand, Caleb is saying that Tom is making things up. Some of us are saying, because remember, we originally started out with saying, is it a mouse or is the dad trying to tell them something to make them not scared? So that is one, that it's a mouse. I don't think we're saying that. Am I correct? Unless I'm wrong. What I'm hearing is that most of us are saying this is not a mouse. Some of us are, but for the most part. And then the third option is that the dad perhaps is making something up. All right. So what Caleb added is the third part, which is that Tom is making things up. So that's sort of a different option from when we started. So I'm not sure if we picked that part up, and maybe those of you observing, maybe you could make note of that for who initiated that part. Caleb will bring up a good point, but that's something new that maybe Tom is making this up.
Okay, I agree with Caleb because at line 1 and 2 it says Tom woke up, but Tim did not. They were in the middle of the night. Did you hear that? Tom asked his brother, but Tom was only 2. Oh yeah, Tim was only 2. So therefore, like I believe that Tom had a dream, and he dreamed about something scaring him. So he woke up, believing he heard noise. So when his dad came, he probably know that all Tom had these dreams all the time. So he made something up to say something at the wall to make Tom scared.
I agree.
Okay, so maybe then we started off, we had two questions that were our sort of deepest points of that. One, was it a mouse or was the dad just trying not to make sure the boys, was the dad trying to make sure the boys would be scared? Or, and I feel like this is what we're getting to, this seems to be our biggest point of doubt, and maybe we can use the same sections of the text, but I think the biggest point of doubt is, did a sound ever occur? Did a sound ever occur? I think that's what we seem to be leading and lending ourselves to in this discussion. The sound ever occur.
When line 24 and 25, it says, there's that sound again. Tom whispered to his father, did you hear that? This time Tim woke up too. Did Tim hear the sound, or did he hear Tom whisper to their father?
Can you say that point again? Because I thought about it, and I still don't know, and I've read this 20 times. I still don't know the answer to that. Can you say that question again?
Did Tim hear the sound Tom was talking about, or did he hear Tom sing to their father? Did you hear that?
Okay, and just one more time, can you read line 24 and 25?
There's that sound again. Tom whispered to his father. Did you hear that? This time Tim woke up too.
So in other words, correct me if I'm wrong, you're saying, did Tim wake up? Because we know Tom woke up, right? Did Tim wake up to the sound? Or Is it that he is simply waking up to the sound of Tom whispering to his father? Does Tim actually hear? Which will shed light on whether or not his sound actually occurs.
You asking a question?
He said, well, they did say that Tim did scream at line 30.
Line 30, all right.
I think we'll go to the noise.
All right, can you read line 30? You pointed that out.
Well, Tim screamed, he didn't know what a mouse was, it's frightening him to think that big fur and no arms crawling between the walls. I know he was like 2, but if somebody like scream, they don't just wake up, they like get a parent or they go to them. You must have like heard something, probably frightening, and
Oh.
scream.
Okay, so Robert is pointing out, so Aaliyah is suggesting that in line, and I'll get to your point, Aaliyah is suggesting that in line 24 and 25, it's possible that he woke up to the sound of Tom whispering to his father, or it's possible that he woke up to the sound of something. Robert is saying in line 30, Tim screamed, that his interpretation is that he is waking up, he is screaming because of a sound that he hears, which comes after line 24, well after the whisper song.
But it never really said that he heard it, it just said he screamed, and he didn't know the mouse was. And just frightened, because what Tom said, that wet, big fur, no arms in the leg. But he didn't say like he really heard it. He just screamed because he didn't know the mouse was.
So we said that sort of those two sort of interesting views. Now we have a question. All right.
I relate to since you didn't know, what it was or something, you kind of just want to stay there to see it will come back.
Okay, so say that one more time. Say it again. Say that one more time.
That since Tim, well, I relate to since Tim didn't know what it was, he said he would want to see it will come back.
Okay, so Tim, he didn't know what it was.
So he would not see it wait for time to pass.
Okay, because he didn't know what a mouse was. Okay, and how does that, and you don't have to answer just yet, how does that relate to the sense of whether or not a sound ever occurs or not? Do you have any opinion about that? And I'm going to call on just a few who haven't said anything just yet in a moment, but you can continue.
I was thinking like 30, yeah,
33?
30.
30.
It was saying how he was screaming, so he was screaming because he knows the mouse was. So that means he didn't hear it at all. He didn't know what the mouse was.
Say that one more time.
Tim screamed, he didn't know what the mouse was. So therefore he didn't hear the noise at all. He's gonna know what the mouse was.
Okay, so in other words, he didn't know what a mouse was, line 30. He screams not because of a noise. You are saying he is screaming because he doesn't know what a mouse is, and he screams. Just because he doesn't know what it is, he screams.
And then on line 41, when he was banging on the wall, every time all he heard the sound, he don't know how a mouse really sound because he never heard the sound. So he was banging on the wall just to remember the word.
Okay. So, Francisco, Mariah said, Tim screams, and let me know if I'm wrong, Tim screams because he doesn't know what a mouse is. What do you think about that?
I agree because in line 1, it said that Tom woke up, but Tim did not. So that means that Tim was still asleep because he didn't hear the noise that Tom heard.
So Tim didn't wake up, so because the text says he didn't wake up, he didn't hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but at around 39, it said like him and his father, they both went to sleep, but Tim, he stayed awake the whole night because he didn't know like what the mouse was. And so he's like staying awake for a long time. I mean, something must have like gotten him worked up that he couldn't. He must have heard something because he didn't ask like his father like what was a mouse and like stuff like that. So I think he heard the noise and he was trying to figure out whether it was a mouse or something else.
All right, so we're following along, and we're focused now on Tim, and we can stay focused on this. Tim does two actions that we are debating, and Francisco agreed with someone. Tim screams, right? And Mariah, you're saying he screams because he doesn't know what a mouse is. Robert, not only does he scream, he stays awake the whole night. And you're saying he does that because he doesn't know and he wants to find out something, right?
Like he heard something. What it was.
But you think he did hear something? Okay. So we still have that sort of sense of whether or not a sound occurred versus it might just be sort of a figment of their imagination. All right.
Okay, when Robert said like if you hear the sound in the first when they first woke up and around 6 or 7 when he said it sounded like a monster with no arms and no legs, but it was trying to move. How come he didn't hear it the first time? But then now he's hearing it after he heard after Tom and his father was whispering. Was it a sound? Because he never heard it the first time, and now he's awake because he want to see and hear it.
So is that going back to your earlier point where before you were, and I'm not sure you remember, Aaliyah was starting off with the suggestion that maybe he is awoken to the sound of something, or maybe just the sound of someone whispering. Are you now more convinced that Tim awoke the second time to the whisper?
Yeah, he didn't wake up because of the noise. He woke up because his father at the time was whispering. He didn't wake up the first time. When Tom was the only one awake.
Okay, so that's critical, and I think that might be, and I think that's why we're focusing on Tim. Is I think for all of us or most of us around this circle, us understanding whether or not Tim awoke to the sound of a whisper, or Tim awoke to the sound of something, is going to tell us if a sound occurred.
Okay, so I kind of got two comments right now, but what we talking about right now, that's about Tim staying up the whole night, and I was saying like they probably hearing, you know what I'm saying, wind coming through cracks or something, and how Tom right now is what we talking about is sleep, the sound of sleep, but because it did say it's a mouse. So I think his brother kind of overheard him while he was asleep, talking about.
Overheard who?
Overheard Tom talking about how the sound, you know what I'm saying, giving all these detailed description about what, I don't know what it's supposed to be, the monster.
Mm-hmm.
And so I guess now that his brother heard that it's a mouse, he started screaming. He know what the monster is or something. And now he's starting to hear the sound.
Okay, so, and this is tough, I want to make sure I'm hearing you right. Is it that you're saying that because Tom has been convinced that he can fall asleep because he knows that the sound, whatever, if the sound actually happened, is not a monster, so he can fall asleep, but that Tim is not, which is why he's up?